Why is he out? Was a taser deployed?
Your Honor, when
I think that's either yes or no. Was a taser deployed?
Your Honor, as soon as saw him, she
Mr.
pointed the taser at him. He was running and pointed the taser.
I didn't ask that, Ms. Gaines. I did not ask that. Was the taser deployed?
Yes, it was.
Did an officer have to draw their weapon?
I did not see that. I could not see that on the video. Again, Your Honor, he's 20 years old. He has no prior history on an unarmed young man.
I mean, Ms. Gaines, I don't get it.
This entitled Brat just strolled into court after allegedly assaulting two officers, punching them, twisting one officer's finger, and leaving him injured. And get this, he's also accused of assaulting his ex-girlfriend on top of it all. Honestly, this case is beyond irritating because this guy is clearly a danger to society, yet his attorney seems weirdly invested in keeping him out of jail. You could almost feel her bending reality just to protect him. Now Judge Simpson has to decide how much patience the system really owes someone like this. Oh, what do you think? Should a guy like this get another chance, or sit in jail where he can't hurt anybody else? Let's dive in and watch.
As to bond.
Your Honor, we are just looking to address the condition of bond that requires that Mr. Hopkins be on house arrest. Prior to this matter, Mr. Hopkins was employed as a result of having the tether plate. No longer able to, in this case, he was no longer able to maintain that employment. He is wishing, hoping to be able to get new employment, and is asking that the court consider a no go-to order, a no contact order, or anything of that nature. My client, Mr. Hopkins, also recently registered for the cybersecurity program. Text me that information. I tried to send the confirmation to Ms. Barroso so that she would be able to see it. It's my understanding that the classes are majority online, but that would be the only place that he would have to come across Chenal County. Otherwise, he's just asking for some order that would allow him to work and just not have that kind of contact.
Response.
Your Honor, the bond in this case was set at $5,000 cash or surety when we requested a $50,000 bond. In this case, the people are uncomfortable with him being out. This was an event, or a series of events that occurred where the defendant assaulted the victim at not one but two locations. An eyewitness saw the defendant shove the victim while near the police station. The police attempted to make contact with the defendant, and then he picked up, as a result of him resisting, picked up 5 counts of R&O against 4 different officers. One of those 5 counts is an R&O causing injury that was so severe that the officer is actually seeking specialized medical treatment from an orthopedic surgeon. At this point, this is a 9.
So hold on. There was a DV and then an officer injured. Why is he out?
Your Honor, if I could address.
Hold on. I'll let Ms. Barroso finish and then you can address it. I just had an intermediate question. Go ahead.
So at this point, I don't think that a modification of bond removing him from being on house arrest is appropriate. We objected to a nominal bond of $5,000 when it was originally granted. At this point, I don't think that any further reduction is appropriate.
A couple things. First of all, Mr. Hopkins is here with his father. He is 20 years old. He has no prior criminal history. In reviewing the police report and the video, even the report references that the altercation, that the incidents that resulted in this charge, that there were,
in which
that it was,
charge?
I'll start with the domestic violence. That with those charges, that there was a more complicated situation. I believe the officer said, the report says something to the effect of, and this would also go to the property, that there had been physical altercations between the two of them, fighting between the two of them, and breaking of objects between the two of them. So I believe that there's more to this than said. The allegations of the domestic violence are the one of the shoving, and also I believe of Mr. Hopkins taking his own computer back from the complainant. That's the second allegation of the domestic violence. And the resisting and obstructing is, the allegations are that Mr. Hopkins, not that Mr. Hopkins turned around and slammed someone or punched them or anything, that he pulled away. The allegation is the officer fell and that caused the injury. And then that officer fell, yes, as he pulled away. And then subsequently, 4 officers who were, some of whom just pulled up on the scene in the video, all ran after him. And that's where the resisting and obstructing comes. And he did, in fact, eventually stop. It was not, it's not as if he were in a vehicle and went miles or hours away. He did stop running, and he did, once they complied, once that occurred, there were no further incidents. So.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, that is not the characterization of the RNO. The allegations include him punching 2 officers in the face, breaking free of their grasp, causing them to fall to the ground, twisting and seriously injuring an officer's finger. And then it went on for such a period of time that an officer had to point and deploy a taser. And that another officer had to point their pistol at a defendant. So at the defendant. So at this point, I don't think it was him passively.
Your Honor, I had an opportunity to view the video.
You watched the same video, right? Because honestly, I have no idea how this defense attorney is saying any of this with a straight face. According to her, this guy just punched an officer, ran off, and then suddenly decided to politely cooperate. Meanwhile, the actual report says he punched 2 officers, twisted one's finger so badly it caused an injury, and had a gun drawn on him in the middle of it all. That's not just a small difference, that's night and day, at best. She's massively downplaying it, and at worst, she's flat out lying to Judge Simpson. And I get it, she's doing her job. But come on. These aren't even remotely believable excuses. Let's be real. Prosecutors don't just invent stories out of thin air, and this is all in the police report. So I honestly don't get how she can stand there and say this stuff with a straight face. This guy is clearly a walking threat, and pretending otherwise is just reckless. I don't think the jury's going to buy a word of it, and I doubt Judge Simpson will either. We'll see when the jury clips drop, but honestly, whose side are you on right now? Because this defense attorney is driving me absolutely crazy.
Well, you had an opportunity to view the video.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Was a taser deployed?
Your Honor, when
I think that's either yes or no. Was a taser deployed?
Your Honor, as soon as the officer saw him, she pointed the taser at him. This is not, as soon as she saw him, she pointed the taser at him. This is not a situation where he was running and pointed the taser.
I didn't ask that, Ms. Gaines. I did not ask that.
Yes, sir.
Was the taser deployed?
Yes, it was.
Did an officer have to draw their weapon?
I did not see that. I could not see that on the video.
Ms. Burroughs, are you indicating an officer had to draw their weapon?
That is what was indicated to me in the file, Your Honor. Yes.
And then there's an officer that's injured. Again, we'll ask the question. I don't know why this individual's out.
Again, Your Honor, he's 20 years old. He has no prior history, and he has no reason to come back to Washtenaw County other than for school in this case. It's my understanding. I have not heard any information that he has had any contact with the complainant, has violated any orders. He is just asking to be able to go to work and to be able to get a job and go to work. Your Honor, would you want to hear from Mr. Hopkins' father, who's present?
I don't know what he could tell me at this point in time. I'm more worried about the bond as it originally is set. Does he have prior convictions for anything?
No, Your Honor.
that the original domestic was about. I mean, I'm trying to figure out because I'll just tell you, I have some serious concerns that this escalated to a point that officers are having to deploy a taser, pull their weapon, and there are clearly enough officers around to, in my opinion, have subdued this individual without having to do all of that. So something else is going on. And
Your Honor,
I also have, I mean, one's bad enough, but I have 2 counts of domestic violence.
again, Your Honor, one of them is him taking back his own computer. That's one of the allegations. And that's why I'm saying there were things that were happening before this. That's not to excuse his behavior. That is to say that there's broader context. And in my view of the video, initially there was 1 officer, then there were 2, and he ran from 2, but as he's running from those 2, there are cars, 4 and 5 cars are pulling up with sirens on an unarmed young man who clearly panicked. This is not someone who's had police involvement, who has a history of contact with law enforcement and the criminal justice system. Again, I'm not excusing, but I do think that there's more. I think there are more nuances to this than the prosecutor does.
Well, explain some of those then. Because I've got a victim of a DV that's injured.
She is not, the domestic violence person is not injured. It was the shove and the taking of there's no injury to her.
Domestic violence are 2 misdemeanor counts.
That is
felonies
correct.
here are 5 counts of are 5 counts.
Yeah, I see that.
Are not causing it.
Maybe I misread that on the report, but
Yes.
the injury to the finger that's the officer.
That's correct.
Thank you. I don't understand this. I mean, there's a lot I don't understand. How, and I get there are resisting and obstructings that are filed that some may look at as questionable in terms of the charge. I get that. But I'm also trying to figure out how an officer gets injured, that there are punches to the face of officers. I mean, Ms. Gaines, I don't get it.
I understand what you're saying, and I'm saying I did not see any punches to the face when I observed the video.
I don't know what it is, but I'm just not buying this defense attorney's excuses. Her whole vibe screams damage control, not credibility. She's trying to spin this guy into some kind of victim, when in reality, he literally attacked 2 police officers and tried to run off. Her story never added up. And this isn't some minor misunderstanding, it's a straight-up crime. The state's version of events isn't just bad, it's downright terrifying when you think about it. I mean, he punched 2 officers. Imagine if those weren't cops, just regular people. What else could he have done? Honestly, I don't think this guy should be anywhere near the streets. He's clearly not stable enough to follow the law, let alone respect it. And that's not paranoia, that's just basic common sense. I know some people in the comments are going to say I'm being too harsh, but seriously, how far does it have to go before someone like this gets locked up? Anyway, let me know whose side you're on, because right now, I'm seeing this as 99% to 1.
Tell you what, I'm certainly not changing any conditions. Can you explain to me one reason why I shouldn't raise his bond?
Your Honor, he has appeared for every court date, and he has not picked up any new charges. He has not had any contact with the complainant on the domestic violence or any of the officers. My understanding from him is that he has only come to Washtenaw County for court. He does not even reside in this county. It does not appear he's a flight risk, nor that he is a danger to the community. He is here with his father. He has come to every court date, and he's highly responsive to my calls and texts. And absent the no offer in this matter, we'd be looking to resolve it.
Anything else from the people?
No, Your Honor.
You know what? I'm not changing his condition in the bond. I'm not at this juncture gonna up his bond either, although of rights I should. Of rights, I don't think he should be out around tethered or not, given that behavior. But I'll let Judge Perry deal with that after she hears the preliminary examination. Bond will continue. Motion for bond reduction or changing condition is denied.
Thank you.
20 years old, accused of domestic violence, and then turns around and assaults 2 police officers. That's not youthful stupidity. That's dangerous. I honestly don't understand how the defense attorney tried to spin this as him just being a kid. Hearing that excuse was painful. You don't get a free pass to hurt people just because it's your first strike. And the way she stumbled through excuses that made 0 sense, come on. If your best argument is, he needs to go to work, when he doesn't even have a job, you've completely lost the plot. Honestly, I can't help but wonder where the father is in all this. Because raising someone who thinks he can attack cops without consequences? That's a failure on every level. Violence against officers is one of those red-line offenses the courts do not ignore, and trying to excuse it just makes the whole legal system look weak. In the end, I think the attorney's credibility took even more damage than her client's reputation here. But yeah, what do you guys think? How long should this guy sit in jail for what he did? Thanks so much for watching, and I really appreciate you all.